Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. I'm Kerry. Today I'll be showing you how to crochet a small bee. It would go quite nicely with the crocheted beehive I did last time. When crocheted using 8-ply yarn and a 3mm hook, this large one, the size is 5.5 centimeters wide by 4 centimeters or 2¼ inches wide by 1½ inches. This medium bee, crocheted using 4-ply crochet cotton and a 1.5mm hook, is 4 centimeters wide by 2½ centimeters or 1½ inches wide by 3/4 inch. The small bee, crocheted using 2-ply crochet cotton and a 1mm hook, is 3 centimeters wide by 2 centimeters or 1¼ inches wide by 1/2 inch. To make it face the other direction, you just change one row in the body. I'll tell you what to do when we come to that row. I'll be using Catona cotton today, so the size will be slightly smaller than the large bee. I'll tell you the size at the end of the video. I'll be using Catona cotton. I've got 208 yellow gold, 110 black, 106 snow white. I've got scissors, a darning needle to weave in the ends, a 2.5mm crochet hook. I've got red cotton and a needle to embroider on the mouth, and I'll be using the black to embroider on the markings and the eyes. I'm going to start on the head. I've got my 208, the yellow gold, and we start with 4 chain. For row 1, we work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. A single crochet is a double crochet using UK terms. For a single crochet, put the hook in the chain, the second from the hook, and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, and take the hook with the yarn at the end through the 2 loops. Then we work 1 double crochet in the next chain. That's a treble using UK terms. For a double crochet, put the yarn around the hook, hook into the next chain and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook. Take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Then work 1 single crochet into our last chain. For row 2, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 2 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and 2 single crochet into our last stitch. For row 3, we start with 1 chain and turn. We're going to work a joined single crochet over the first 2 stitches. So put your hook into the first stitch and bring up a loop, and hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop. We've got 3 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with this yarn at the end through all the loops. Then we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. That's a treble using UK terms. Then a joined single crochet over the last 2 stitches, the same as we did at the beginning of the row. And that's the head done except for the neatening row. We're going to work 1 slip stitch in each stitch just around the sides and the bottom, but not along the top. So start with 1 chain quite tightly and then work a slip stitch in each stitch. So we put our hook into the stitch, bring through a loop and take it straight through the loop on the hook. Just find a suitable place not too far from the edge to put your hook. For neatening rows, it can be easier to use a size or 2 finer hook. just slip stitch in the side there and fasten off. Now I'll just weave in these two ends and I'll be back with my black and we'll work the antenna. Now for the antenna, I'm going to leave a little bit of a tail at the bottom where I join and embroider on the eyes with that. So I'll just leave a bit of a gap. Now the flatter edge is the bottom and this is our top edge. So I'm going to join in this stitch here for my first antenna and just leave a little tail and then work 4 chain. And I work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook. And then just fasten that off with a normal tail. Now I'll weave this smaller end in, but not this one. I'll use it to embroider on the eye. And for the other one, I join just evenly along the head and I leave a bit of a tail again. And it's worked the same. I work 4 chain and work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook and then fasten it off. And I'll weave in this end but not the other end. So that's the head done with the antennas. For the body, it's worked in yellow and the markings are embroidered on, the black markings. So I've got my 208, the yellow gold, and we start with 4 chain. We work 1 single crochet in the second chain from the hook, 1 double crochet into the next chain, and 1 single crochet into the last chain. For row 2, we start with 1 chain and turn. We work 1 single crochet in each of the 3 stitches. Now for row 3, if we wanted our bee to face the other way, we'd start with 1 chain and work 1 single crochet in the first stitch and then 1 double crochet into each of the last 2 stitches. But to have it facing this way, we start with 2 chain and turn. We work 1 double crochet into each of the first 2 stitches and 1 single crochet into the last stitch. And that just makes it bend up. If we did it the other way, it would bend the other way, that way. Now for our neatening row, we start with 1 chain quite tightly and we're just going to work 1 slip stitch in each stitch right around our work. and then just slip stitch in the first stitch worked and fasten off. And that's the body done. Now I haven't woven in these ends to make it easier for you to see where I attach for the stinger. Now for the stinger I've got my 110, the black, and I join in the end opposite where I finished off. So just in here, I rather join towards the bottom rather than the middle. So just in there, and I've left a tail to use to embroider on some markings. We start with 3 chain. We miss the first chain and work 1 slip stitch in each of the 2 remaining chain. And then we slip stitch in the same stitch as our join and fasten off with a bit of a longer tail, just in case I haven't got enough for the markings with the beginning. And that's the body and the stinger done. Now the wings are both worked the same, so I'll only work one on camera. I've got my 106, the Snow White, and we start with a magic loop. I'm going to leave a bit of a tail at the beginning to attach it to the bee. Now there are a lot of ways to make a magic loop, so make it how you feel most comfortable. I put my yarn, my hook on the yarn, bring the short end over the hook and then the long end over the short end to make a circle. Put the yarn around my hook and bring my hook with the yarn at the end through the circle, and that's my magic loop. We start with 1 chain and we work 1 single crochet into the circle and then just pull it tight. For row 2 we start with 2 chain and turn, and we're going to work 3 half double crochet in the stitch. A half double crochet is a half treble using UK terms. For half double crochet, put the yarn around the hook, hook into the stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take the hook with this yarn at the end through all the loops. We need 2 more half double crochet into that stitch. For row 3 we start with 3 chain and turn. We're going to work a join double crochet over the 3 stitches. We put the yarn around the hook, hook into the first stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook and take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Then yarn around the hook, hook into the next stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. We've got 3 loops on the hook. We put the yarn around the hook, hook into the last stitch and bring up a loop, yarn around the hook, take the hook with the yarn at the end through 2 loops. Then we put the yarn around the hook and take the hook with this yarn at the end through all the loops, and we fasten off. And that's 1 wing done. I'll work another wing the same off camera. I'll weave in the ends and I'll be back and we'll put it together. There's the pieces. I've got 2 wings, the body and the head. The first things I'll do is embroider the 2 eyes and the mouth on the head, and I'll do 3 rows of stitching with the black along the body, just across, 3 rows across. Next we attach the head to the body, so just in there, right at the edge and facing up a little bit like that. Now lastly we attach the wings. One goes in the front up against the head like that, and then the other one goes in behind. I stitch it in behind the wing, other wing, and behind the body, just in like that. So I'll do that and I'll be back to show you the finished bee. There's the finished bee. The size is 4.5 centimetres wide by 3 centimetres, or 1 3/4 inches wide by 1 1/4 inches. If you've liked my video, please like, subscribe and share. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Patreon. The details are in the description below, along with the details of my website where I have my patterns and the details of my Facebook group. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.